Hi everybody. So before I start, I appreciate that I look like a complete mess of a human right now. However, mum life. So I thought I would sit down and record my postpartum update. I do have a little bean to my right who is swinging in his chair. So if you can hear like a really annoying ticking sound, then that is his chair swinging. So sorry about that. So yes, I am currently 9 weeks postpartum. I don't know why every time I say postpartum I feel like I'm saying it wrong. I know, baby. It's just exhausting, isn't it? It's just exhausting. So I obviously have never done one of these. I've tried watching a few videos and I'm gonna just talk about what's happened basically in no particular order. First thing that I have jotted down was probably about 3 or 4 days after I gave birth. I was kind of very like prepared for the baby blues or like a little bit of postpartum depression because they obviously warned me about it, and honestly I really didn't experience, or like I didn't really experience what I thought I was going to experience. I was ready to be like really tearful and really really down in the dumps and just But I mean, there was literally like one day where I had like 10 minutes where I was just like teary and I just felt really off and I just wanted to cry, and I think it was mainly because like we had people over quite a lot, so it distracted me. And I know like lots of people get really like funny about having people over as soon as they've given birth, but I actually really enjoyed it because it was distraction, and I feel like maybe if we hadn't had those like people over, I probably would have been a little bit more down in the dumps. Who knows? Look at the state of my hair. Ugh. And it won't grow. So I waited my whole pregnancy for my hair to grow and it just didn't. It was like, nah, sorry, we're gonna just stay this length. Bear with me a second, I'm gonna put my hair up. Does this look like a complete mess as well? Oh, surprisingly not for a change. Actually it does, it looks like a beehive. So the second thing I had put down is how long it took my belly to disappear, if you like. I was really happy because you know, people always were saying to me like, oh, it's your first baby, you'll bounce right back. But it's not always the case. I have many friends who had, you know, first babies and they haven't bounced right back, and it's been really, really hard for them to get their, you know, pre-pregnancy body back, and you know, stretch marks. But I was really, really fortunate. I only got a couple of stretch marks and my belly probably went down about 2 weeks after I gave birth. Before pregnancy I was a size 10 and I'd never actually weighed myself during pregnancy. I just don't believe in it. Obviously when you go to the doctors, like for your first ever appointment, they weigh you, but I wasn't allowed to know how much I weighed just because of previous like mental health issues. So I suffered with an eating disorder, so I wasn't allowed. Obviously they had to be made aware of that because being pregnant, you know, that can be like a real trigger for some people who have suffered with eating disorders, and so they weren't allowed to tell me. But I was fine, like it wouldn't, you know, even if I had known, it wouldn't have triggered me or anything. It was a long time ago. But yeah, never knew. So I never actually knew how much I weighed during pregnancy. I don't know how much I gained because they never weighed me again, and I obviously never weighed myself. But yeah, I was a size 10 in clothing, and after I gave birth I was getting into size 14s, size 16s in some, like just depending on whatever shop it was, and I'm now back in size 12s. I can get into my size 10s, but it's like I can't move, like, and once I've got them on I have to get like Elliot to like peel them off of me again. Yeah, it's hilarious, isn't it? You did this to mummy. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I know. So the next thing I experienced was this like sharp, it's like the best way I can explain it is like a burning pain in my lower abdomen, and it was really, really uncomfortable. And I've been to the doctor and they just had a little feel and they said it feels fine, so I don't know what that's about. I thought that maybe it could be like to do with like getting my period back or something, because I had my first period at 5 weeks postpartum, which I wasn't expecting. That was very soon because I know some ladies, like, they don't have their first period for like, bless you, some ladies don't have their first period for like 9 months afterwards. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I heard. And obviously it got to 5 weeks and I started, you know, bleeding, and I was like, no, already? Are you joking me? So that wasn't great. But yeah, I was putting it down to like period pain, but it was like really, and then I was getting it once I wasn't having my period, so who knows. The other type of pain I experienced was very bizarre. I woke up one morning and my Achilles heels were like in, oh my god, they were so painful. Like, I got out of bed and nearly fell to the floor because like my heels weren't functioning. And I was like, what on earth is going on? So I researched it, and there's all these other ladies who had like experienced the same thing, and they were, you know, talking to their doctor about it, and they didn't really have any answers. And obviously spoke to my midwife about it, and she just said, yeah, well, you know, all the like extra hormone of relaxin that you get when you're pregnant, once you give birth, your body is obviously still trying to adjust, get back to normal, so it still has that extra hormone, but it has no like weight to make up for it. Does it make sense? So basically my body is like still thinking it's pregnant, and it's like creating all this, well, not creating anymore, but still has all this extra hormone, just like so it's making everything like weak and hurt. Does that make any sense? I don't know. But I didn't even know that was a thing, and apparently it is, and it hurts. Like, once I'm up and I'm walking around, it's fine, but anytime I'm like led down for a long period of time, or, you know, when I get out of bed in the morning, it's just like, oh, that hurts. So I obviously got my period at 5 weeks postpartum. This piece of hair is annoying me. We're just trying a ponytail. We're gonna see if a ponytail works. I literally don't know how these like mums just look so glamorous, and there's just me like egg. Okay, I forgot what I was talking about. I feel like it was like my postpartum bleeding, yeah. So I stopped bleeding about 2-3 weeks after, and then obviously had like 2 weeks where I wasn't bleeding, and then obviously came on my period. And I was like, give me a break. I was like, give me more than 2 weeks at least. Mother Nature was ready. She was just like, we're ready to go again, girl. Let's go. Let's make another baby. Obviously, I can't remember now how like long it is after you've given birth, but you're allowed to go back on contraception. I was obviously on the pill before getting pregnant, and so I know that you can only go on the mini pill after you have given birth. So I went on to that to begin with, and probably like 2 weeks after being on it, I had like a few days where I really didn't feel myself. I just felt really down in the dumps. I was not getting dressed in the mornings. I was lounging about. I was getting really angry at him and shouting at him and having really like intrusive thoughts, and I really didn't like that. So I went back and I was like, look, I understand this could be postpartum depression, but is it possible that the pill could also bring on, you know, depressive thoughts and things like that? And she said, yeah, it is a side effect of the pill. And she's like, if you've been on it for 2 weeks now, then that's probably what it is. So she changed me back to the pill I was on before I got pregnant, and I've been fine since then. So that's good. And the last thing that I have experienced, I'm not experiencing it anymore, which I'm very happy about, was having back pain and backache from the epidural. So I'm gonna post my birth story, which will explain about the epidural, but basically I got given 2 because I didn't want one like at all in the first place. I really wanted the birth to be like as natural as possible. I kind of wanted to get as far as I could with nothing, and then, you know, if I needed it, I wanted gas and air. But that's not the way it went. I know birth is painful, but I basically had a back-to-back labour, so it was more painful than it would be. At least that's what they said. They said if it's back-to-back, it's more painful. And I could not deal with it. I'll explain everything in the birth story. But had 2 epidurals, the first one failed, and so they had to put the second one in a different spot. And I think for like the first week, 2 weeks after giving birth, I was absolutely fine. I had no back pain. And a friend of mine who'd given birth a couple of months before said that she'd had an epidural and that she had awful back pain, and she said to me, you know, are you getting the same thing? And I was like, no, and then it just bit me in the ass. And then like a week later I had awful back pain. I couldn't even like bend over. I mean, I could bend over, but as I would stand up, it was just awful pain all across my lower back. Basically back when I was 16 or 17. I was 16 or 17 and I got admitted to hospital for suspected meningitis, and so they had to do a lumbar puncture, which is kind of like similar to an epidural, like it's a whole like needle in the spine thing. And when I had the lumbar puncture done, that completely like screwed up my back as well, and so having like those two epidurals on top of that like made it so uncomfortable. But thankfully it's not hurting me anymore. It might like just come and go, I'm not sure, but for like a few weeks it's been really, really good. So yeah, that's basically everything that I have on my list of postpartum stuff. If anybody has any questions, just leave them below. If there's anything you want me to cover in a video, pregnancy wise or giving birth wise, let me know and I can do a video on that. I really want to do this birth story, but I need to like properly like sit down or maybe like find my birth notes for like timings and stuff, but I can remember like pretty much all of it off the top of my head, like pretty much remember. Can't really remember a lot once the drugs took effect, but up until that point it was fine.
Do you want to come and say hi? Do you want to come and say hi?
Maybe I'll do a video, like a 9-week update for him. Oh, he's pooping. Okay, that's the problem. He has his jabs today. I'm so scared. And Elliot couldn't come with us because he obviously has to work. That smells wonderful. That smells great. I'm so excited to change that. So yeah, I have to brave that on my own, and I'm gonna try not to cry. For his sake, keep him brave. Oh, I'm just so scared. I'll let you know how it goes. I was gonna vlog today, but then I was like, do you know, that's not a really good idea. You're still trying to poop, aren't you? Still trying to poop. Are you still trying to poop? I know you've got jabs today. Yeah, we do. Oh, you're not even bothered and Mum's so scared. I'm so scared. Look how big he is. Look how big he is. And he has such a strong head. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, he's literally been doing this since he was like 3 weeks old. I don't let him do that all the time. Don't worry. Don't like attack me in the comments. Are you okay? He literally doesn't let you burp him because he's just too interested in life. He just is peering around everywhere, and I'm like, you're nosy Parker. Head bob. Woo! Do you know what? I feel like you look like me in person, but on camera you look like your dad. Hi guys. So I was just editing my postpartum update, and I realized I didn't actually do like a belly shot, which apparently is something that you're supposed to do. So I'll place a little picture somewhere around here of my pregnant belly, and if you wanted to see any other like pics, my Instagram, everything is below. So I thought I'd just show you my belly. This is the belly from the front. This is actually my belly piercing stretch mark. That's like nothing other than that, and I'm probably gonna get it pierced again. I'm really happy, like with, you know, there's like not really any, there's like a little pouch that I can work on, but I'm feeling like back to myself, if you know what I mean. But yes, that is 10 weeks postpartum, and honestly I was like, you know, I wasn't much like slimmer than that anyway. But yes, I plan on like putting a little bit of exercise in, but I was never very good at that anyway, but just to like tone my belly up a little bit. But honestly I'm feeling like completely content with it. I can get back into my jeans, which is all I'm, you know, that's all I'm bothered about. As long as I can wear my jeans again, I'm happy. Anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Hello. Hello.
You're such a wiggle. What you doing?